What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We're back here on our NF journey, and in the playlist, they had this song. Now, I'm not sure if this is a mistake or whatnot, but it is featuring NF, so technically, I guess, this is part of the NF journey, but it's by this artist called Futuristic Epiphany. We're going to do it anyways. Might be some fire. Let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up.
I had an epiphany, I was repeating history. I was doing everything I hated, a weight on my shoulders, I let it all get to me. I had an epiphany, I just smiled at my enemies. I was listening to everybody who was talking but never did shit for me. Yeah, I had an epiphany, I was looking at everybody else that's up in the industry, they ain't as sick as me.
Talk that
I
talk.
had an epiphany, I was seeing somebody that never had no good intentions for me, now she missing me. Yeah. Moral of the story is nobody did it for me, had to make a change. I was living in a city with no scene, I had a dream, I had to make a lane.
Ooh, that's powerful. I was living in a city with no scene, right? I feel like that's even harder. People don't ever talk about what you want to call it, like city privilege. You know what I mean? Where people might be more prone to listen to you depending on where you rep, right? Or people who are looking for talent, they got certain cities that they will go to as opposed to the others, right? Because they, their time is valuable, right? And they don't want to waste it on anything unless they, you know what I'm saying? Like anywhere on the like East Coast, West Coast, or whatnot. But sometimes it's city specific, like he said. So if you already know, not a lot of people are checking for you because you do have those scouts or those producers, they're not producers, but labels that are looking at the state as opposed to city. But if you're in a city that don't nobody really know, right, then it might take a little bit more because you got people that like to look at the city that you're from, where you're repping, before they even listen to you, and that's kind of crazy. But that's the reality of things. So I like that he included that.
Change. I was living in the city with no scene, I had a dream, I had to make a lane. Always knew that I couldn't live off a minimum wage, ripping the pay stub. I had a minimal taste for all the fame stuff, but I got into the game without a cent to my name, and now I'm balling like I'm in the NBA, bruh.
I like that. Yo, run that back, because that's that grind right there that he talking.
Always knew that I couldn't live off a minimum wage, ripping the pay stub. I had a minimal taste for all the fame stuff.
He had a minimum taste for all the fame stuff. I said this before in the other type of NF reactions that I've done, is that everything that we hear, all this other type of stuff, like he flexing a little bit now, but everything is all a byproduct, right? NF was going to get this music out regardless if he got famous or not. And I love that drive. It's all this money, all this stuff and everything. It always appears as though it's secondary to me when it comes to NF.
But I got into the game without a cent to my name, and now I'm balling like I'm in the NBA, bruh. And I know I got a lot, but I'm not content. If they ask me to stop, I will not consent. Never let nobody block, it's my shot to miss. You can meet me at the top if you hop the fence, and you climb the stairs, and you fight the beast, and you lose your way, then you find your peace, and you do it sober, then you find a drink, then you spiral down, and it all repeats. And I always had a vision, I could get it, so I did it by my lonely. I don't owe nobody nothing, never let nobody own me. Got some money from the music, and I spend it on the homies, but don't put nothing before me. Gave a whip to Lil Brody, and I'm only getting started. And I'm meeting with the people that I starve with, and my batteries, I had to recharge them. I made an album, but that shit was garbage.
Hold on. So this is Epiphany rapping now. Okay. They kind of switch in between. I gotta pay more attention because there was NF rapping, but the way they switched, some of their tone and the way they rap is kind of the same. I'm still not even too sure who's rapping right now, but I think before it was NF and this is Futuristic now.
Then you find your peace and you do it sober, then you find a drink, then you spiral down and it all repeats. And I always had a vision, I could get it, so I did it by my lonely. I don't owe nobody nothing, never let nobody own me. Got some money from the music and I spend it on the homies, but don't put nothing before me. Gave a whip to Lil Brody, and I'm only getting started. And I'm meeting with the people that I starve with, and my batteries, I had to recharge them. I made an album, but that shit was garbage. Yo, I was trapped in a gimmick, I finally get it. I'm here to make music that matters. If I die, it'll all be alright, cause the message I gave you will live for me after.
Talk that talk. I love, he said he's there for the people that started with him. He said he didn't want to get caught up in that trap, right? Run that back, bro. They spitting some stuff here. Come on now.
I made an album, but that shit was garbage. Yo, I was trapped in a gimmick, I finally get it.
I was trapped in a gimmick. right? Some people don't even some many people don't even realize that gimmick, right? Especially when people start calling you out on it.
Here to make music that matters. If I die, it'll all be alright, cause the message I gave you will live for me after. In my chapter will highlight a lifetime of energy gave through a bright an epiphany.
Got your own guidelines.
I had an epiphany, yeah.
Yo, this is fire.
That's an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah. I had an epiphany that I could make history, that I could prove everyone wrong.
Oh, this is NF. Okay, now that I hear it, I believe it's Epiphany. That must have been Futuristic all that time. Okay, now that I'm hearing the bass, I can hear the difference. Y'all know I was tripping.
I had an epiphany that I could make history, that I could prove everyone wrong, that told me I wasn't cut out for this music thing. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if I took my energy and use it on positive things in my life instead of the people that lie to me, huh? Yeah, I had an epiphany.
Yo, that's deep. Instead of the people that lie to me, sometimes those type of people ain't really readily. You can't really detect them like that, right? The people who lie to you are the yes men, the people who always bumping your, not bumping your stuff, but the people who always give like very little criticism. You know, we all got a chance to grow. And if you ever got a friend out there that's, you know, that you rely on or whatnot, you want to hope that they at least always tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like say it's fire and everything, but I always put, I want this, I want that. Say, yo, this fire, you can take it to the top, you can take it to the top. Because those people, they're just telling you what you want to hear, right? And if you find yourself, if you ain't too careful, right, before you know it, you done rode this wave of nothing but lies until you reach somebody that actually will tell you the truth and just stop you dead in your tracks. But that's what he means by he's wasting his energy.
Positive things in my life instead of the people that lie to me, huh? Yeah, I had an epiphany that I could put all of my hurt into music and use it for people that might feel the same as me. Yeah, I had an epiphany. What if everyone knew my depression was worse than they thought? They probably gonna look at me differently. Yo, this song got me going back when I was a stupid kid, thinking maybe I can make it in the music biz, and then I figured out the politics and realized that half of y'all don't even know what music is. Ain't going nowhere.
I'm sorry, y'all. I know I keep pausing, but this man, he's spitting facts. Yo, none of y'all even know what music is. I can't even sit here in front. I don't know much about the politics. And I feel like when you do get into music, it's those politics that either make you, you know, that kind of determine if you're going to hang or not. You know, man, can you? But yo, I don't know the politics, but he said half y'all don't even know what music is. Y'all just out here making these one-time hits, and that's pretty much it, right? Making this music without any type of purpose, without even type of feeling. I mean, there's probably definitely feeling, but the audio mind type of feeling, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he says real music.
And then I figured out the politics and realized that half of y'all don't even know what music is. Ain't going nowhere, I told him to get used to me. Feels like I'm living in a movie scene, a bunch of people trying to tell me how to act and breathe. One thing I never let nobody ever do is tell me who to be. I never got into the party scene, maybe I was just scared to drink. Cause addiction, it runs in my family, that's someone I was scared to be. Y'all looking pitiful compared to me, since I can barely read. All I wanted was somebody I could trust that I knew would keep it real with me. Rap's always been a man for me. That's when I figured out that maybe I'm the one that's gotta make it on my own. Yeah, it's clear to see. A lot of people thinking what I'm doing is a gimmick. Everything you hear me writing, I've been living. I ain't quitting, sending money to my family, trying to show them that I miss them and I cherish every moment when I'm home, when I'm with them. And it's just the way that I feel. In the industry of fakes, trying to stay real. In the industry of lames, trying to get deals. Lord knows I'ma get it, that's Meek Mill. Yeah. I lay in my bed at night thinking there's gotta be more to me. I'm trying to pay off the mortgage and live the life of the people I love in the midst of it. I've always thought that if I learn from mistakes that I make, even losses are victories. That's when it starts hitting me. If you set your mind to it, you can do anything. That's an epiphany.
Facts, yo. His loss into a victory.
That's an epiphany. Yeah. I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany, yeah.
Yeah, this is fire. I can kind of see where this fits into the journey. You know, the thing about NF is that I always looked at him as the type of person that he doesn't waste his time, right? So if he's on a feature with somebody else, then one, they must at least share common goals, right? And I think that's further demonstrated in the video when they kind of showing both of them kind of going the same thing, you know, working a hard job and, you know, waking up in the morning, everything, making your breakfast, you know, pretty much the daily routines, going into, you know, working your job, going into the studio. They're like one and the same, right? They kind of see each other, see themselves in each other, you know, as far as the grind. And they both got, that's interesting. I ain't never heard Futuristic. You know, we came for NF, but we might have to stay Futuristic. I might have to go ahead and hit that subscribe button because, oh, this is the Buff Nerds. I'm not sure if this is the same guy. I'm gonna hit subscribe anyways. Only Futuristic. They add him, so I'm guessing this isn't his channel. I'll go check his channel out later. But I love that he said, you know, that turning the losses to wins. Those losses only become wins when you learn from them. Right? Because a wise man always wants to fail. Wise man doesn't always want to be right. You learn much more from your losses and your mistakes than from your successes. And that's how you turn those into wins. Hopefully you don't repeat them. Then they turn into massive wins. There's so many ways you can kind of go in and kind of break this down line for line, bar for bar. But this is kind of reaction channel, and I've taken up much of your time. Definitely something I'm going to have to listen to a lot more and check out Futuristic. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.